I have been delivering mail to a dead woman for 3 years. Today she wrote me back. I am a mail carrier. Not a glamorous job, but it is mine and I am good at it. And after 11 years on the same route, I know every house the way. You know your own face. Which porch light never works? Which dog is noise and which one means it? Which mailbox sticks in humidity? I know my people. That is why I noticed when Mrs. Elaine Cho stopped collecting her mail. Not immediately. People go on vacation. People get busy. The first week I did not think anything of it. Second week I started stacking it neatly. Third week the stack was becoming a problem and her neighbor, a retired man named Gerald, who watered his lawn at exactly 7 a.m. every single day, told me quietly that Elaine had passed. Heart attack. Very sudden. No suffering, he said, like that was supposed to help. I said I was sorry. I kept delivering her mail because that is the job. You deliver to the address, not the person. Junk mail mostly. Catalogs. The occasional bill that did not know yet. But here's the thing about Elaine Cho's mail that I never told anyone. Once a month without fail, a handwritten letter arrived for her. No return address. Always the same handwriting. Small, precise, slightly left-leaning. Always a stamp from a different city. Portland, Savannah, Minneapolis, Albuquerque. Like, whoever was writing was never in the same place twice. For 3 years, I delivered those letters to a dead woman's mailbox. For 3 years, I watched them pile up inside because nobody came to collect them. Her house sat in that specific kind of stillness that empty houses have. Lawn slightly too long. Curtains never moving. Porch light always off. I thought about those letters more than I should have. Who was writing them? Whether they knew. Whether somewhere out there a person was pouring their heart onto paper. Every single month, not knowing it was going into a dark mailbox in an empty house. I could not do anything about it. No return address. Not my place until 14 months ago, when the letter came from Seoul, South Korea. And this time, there was a return address. I stared at it for probably 30 seconds in the middle of the street. Then I did something I have never done in 11 years of this job. I took the letter home. I sat at my kitchen table for a long time. It is a federal offense to tamper with mail. I know that better than most people. I turned it over in my hands about 40 times. Then I wrote a letter of my own. I wrote to that return address in Seoul and I told them everything. That I was the mail carrier on Elaine's route. That I did not know who they were. That I was sorry to tell them this way. That Elaine had passed 3 years ago. That their letters had been arriving faithfully every month and I wanted them to know. I mailed it the next morning before I could change my mind. I did not expect a response. 6 weeks later, a letter arrived on my route. Addressed not to any house number, but simply to the mail carrier, Sycamore Street. My supervisor handed it to me with the most confused expression I've ever seen. I opened it in my truck. It was from a woman named Sue. She was Elaine's daughter. They had not spoken in 22 years. She had been writing those letters for 3 years, one a month, because she did not know how to call, but she could not do nothing. She wrote because it felt like leaving a light on. She did not know her mother had already been gone when the first letter arrived. She had been writing to her dead mother for 3 years. She booked a flight immediately. We met on a Tuesday morning on Sycamore Street. She stood in front of her mother's house for a long time without saying anything. The new owners had painted the door red. She stared at that red door like she was trying to memorize something already gone. Then she said, "Did she seem happy?" I thought about Elaine Cho, who always waved from the porch, who left cookies out every Christmas in a little tin with a bow on it. I said, "She seemed really happy. She waved every single day." Sue nodded for a long time. Then she said, "She always waved at everyone, even people she was angry at." She could not help it. She laughed when she said it. The kind of laugh that lives right next to crying. We had coffee at the place on the corner. Sue flew back to Seoul 4 days later. We still write to each other. Actual letters. She says it feels right. I think Elaine would find that very funny.